We've been talking a lot about angles recently, and some folks expressed some challenges related to how do I get better at arranging things in an angled shot? Because truth be told, the styling methods and approach for flat lay shots don't work quite as well in the same way for capturing food at an angle. So I want to share a bit of a perspective shift that can make composing angled shots easier and make your images more dynamic. What's shakin' bacon? I'm Joni Simon, food photographer. Welcome to my studio. So here's the core issue. When you change your camera angle, you change what's visible and how the elements in your scene relate to each other. And so in overhead shots, it's more like you're decorating a flat surface, but in angled shots, you're building a scene. It's no longer as much about patterns, it's about structure. I think of it this way. Overhead styling is like creating a graphic design, whereas angled styling is like designing a set stage. We're thinking much more in 3 dimensions when we're on an angle versus more on 2 dimensions. And once that clicks, things change. But let's get practical. What do you need to actually do differently? So very first up in thinking about an angled shot is building height intentionally. Because when you shoot at an angle, flatter items can tend to disappear. So this is maybe where you need to bring key elements up toward the camera or start to angle them or lift them in different ways so that they are more readily visible and make greater sense in the context of your scene. So for example, this can mean hiding little small bowls or boxes under props using risers. For example, these crackers, I want to get just a little bit more height on them and turn some up toward the camera, just inserting some little makeup wedges there. It creates just a little bit of extra height and context to what we're looking for. And I'm also thinking how that relates to other elements in the scene, creating that soft height gradient that feels natural from this camera angle. In an angled shot, I'm always thinking, how can we build upward? And so let's look at this in action with this charcuterie setup. Everything's typically just flat on the board, so I want to create some height to help reinforce kind of a diagonal line in the composition. And I also am keeping in mind how the angle is affecting the props. Because if you ever noticed, it can be way harder to place a fork or a napkin in an angled scene versus an overhead. That's because the angle introduces perspective distortion, where props that are closer to the lens look larger and props in the back tend to shrink down. So if you're not intentional, that cute little fork suddenly looks massive in the front of your scene. That's why I love little forks, I love little spoons, little spreaders. I mean, we're not going full out miniature, but you get the idea. But in line with that, using smaller props up in front, larger ones in the back to help to balance those proportions. And when we're doing these things, we do want to make sure that when we've got stuff in the front, stuff in the back, we're creating that depth. Watch out for tangents, where lines unnaturally and awkwardly intersect, props that kind of touch and overlap in awkward ways. This is why I like to set up the camera, do some test shots to catch some of these weird angles and weird overlaps before I start shooting with the food on set. And this is obviously where tethering can be clutch, and I've got a video all about that linked down below. But now for one of my favorite styling techniques for angled perspectives is overlapping elements like bowls, plates, garnishes. It creates an instant depth perception when there's just a little bit of overlap. It gives your photo that sense of dimension that our eyes crave to be drawn in. But admittedly, overlapping does require some finesse. Takes some practice, like anything, but I'll tell you what works. Partial overlap shows a relationship without hiding too much. Whereas full overlap can work if one item clearly dominates. This is where transparent or translucent items like glasses can really help to keep everything visible. And of course, in that overlapping, if we're changing things up in terms of height and size, that creates some nice visual variety and flow. But of course, like anything, there are some things to watch out for. Avoiding awkward half visible edges that feel unintentional. I'm always like, is it in? Is it out? If it's just like slightly creeping on the edge, it's like, what am I doing with that? What's going on there? Looks like a mistake. And also be careful not to stack too much, thinking more is more. It's not always the case. Things can get messy fast and visually confusing fast. So I often go with the old adage, if in doubt, take it out. But ultimately, styling for angled shots is about thinking in layers, not layouts. Build height, embrace depth, and use props that work with your perspective, not against it. So I'm hoping this unlocked a fresh perspective for you for the next time you approach scenes from the side. Of course, if you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more food photography and styling tips. And of course, I absolutely invite you in the comment section below. If there are other things you'd love to see on this channel, I'm all ears. Share with me in the comment section below. But as always, thank you so much for stopping by the studio. I hope you have a fantastic day. You stay out of trouble, and I'll see you soon, okay? Bye.